It's fall, the weather's feeling nice and toasty, so we all love a good chili recipe, right? Hey, what's up guys? My name is Marquita. Welcome to my kitchen and back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a super yummy buffalo chicken chili. Yes, you heard me right. Not a traditional chili, buffalo chicken chili. It's super yummy. During this time of year, I love to make soups and chilies and just recipes that really just warm your soul. So what you're gonna need in order to make this buffalo chicken chili is 1 pound of chicken. Of course, this is buffalo chicken chili, so you're gonna need the chicken. You're also going to need 15-ounce can of white navy beans. You're going to need a 14.5-ounce can of fire roasted tomatoes, 2 cups of chicken broth. You're also gonna need your wing sauce. I love some wing sauce. So I've got 1/4 to 1.5 cups here, but I'll probably add more because I love the buffalo sauce so much. And also you're gonna need a package of ranch dressing. I've got my ranch dressing packet right there, and then I also have a little more if needed. And in addition to that, you're gonna need some corn. So I've got some frozen corn over there. So you can totally cheat by doing frozen corn. You don't have to get it off the cob. You can just do your frozen corn. I wouldn't do canned corn. I like things the most fresh that they can be. So that's what I've got there. And then when it comes to seasoning, you're going to need some onion powder. So I've got all of my seasonings over there. Garlic powder. It also calls for celery salt, but y'all, I'm not going to use celery salt. I can skip that and I'm okay with that. It calls also for dried cilantro, but y'all, your girl loves cilantro so much that she's going to use fresh cilantro. But you could totally use dried. There's no problem with that. You also need cream cheese and blue cheese. So as you can see, I've got all of my ingredients here. We are ready to go. In addition to that, I grabbed my Goya because I feel like you can put that on anything. I also have garlic salt and garlic powder. So there's all the ingredients that you're gonna need. So let's jump on in and get this recipe going. Okay, so y'all are about to see just how simple and easy this recipe is. Now it is a crock pot recipe, which means that you would technically brown the meat and then you would throw it all in your crock pot and just let it slow cook. We're not gonna do that today. I wanna show you the recipe from start to finish. I may throw it in my crock pot after it's completed and just let it sit, maybe on low and let it to just cook. Cause I feel like with chili, you can just keep cooking it for long periods of times. You can slow cook it and it tastes better the longer you cook it. It's so easy, y'all. You can't mess this up. So I'm gonna turn my stove on, of course, so that way the pot is starting to heat up, and then I'm going to be browning my ground chicken first. So I've got my ground chicken over here, and then what you're basically gonna do is dump everything else in the pot with the exception of the cream cheese and the blue cheese. So you see how easy that is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dump in my ground chicken. So drop a comment below, guys. Let me know, what is your favorite chili recipe? Do you love your traditional chili? Do you like a spin on your chili? Have you ever tried buffalo chicken chili? I would love to know some of your favorite chili recipes. Drop them below. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue to stir until the ground chicken is browned. I suppose you could use chicken breast if you would like, but of course this is chili, so you don't want super huge bites of chicken. You want the finest bites possible, hence why the ground chicken is just the best option for this recipe. All right, so we are done with the ground chicken. We have ground it up a little bit as we were cooking it. It is cooked through thoroughly, so now we're ready to just throw in all of the other ingredients. We're gonna let it cook for a little bit, mix it all up together, then we're gonna top it with that cream cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the corn. And then I'm gonna add in the beans. Now I do have additional cans of beans just in case. If I see that I need a little bit more, then I will go ahead and add in a second can of beans. I do love beans. And so I feel like when it comes to chili, beans are very important to the whole process. And so I'm gonna next add the fire roasted tomatoes. I do also have another can of these in case, because that's the tomatoes is the base part of it that kind of makes everything bind together. So I may need another can, and it looks like I do. So I'll go ahead and add that additional can. Also, if you guys didn't know, I do cook 3 times a week. So I prepare dinner on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And Sundays is a free-for-all, meaning that they just have to find whatever they can find. And then we have leftovers on the other days, and that just works for me. My family is okay eating leftovers at least one time, you know, at least every other day. And so that seems to work for our family, so that mom is not exhausted from cooking, but yet they still get what they need in terms of dinner. So I'm still adding the remainder of the ingredients. I don't think I told you guys that I'm adding garlic, although the recipe did not call for garlic. I am adding it because I love garlic. And that's the buffalo sauce. I may add a little bit more. We love spicy. Our family loves spicy, so the spicier the better. Plus, I just love the taste of buffalo sauce. And then we're gonna add the cilantro. Again, the recipe did call for ground cilantro, and you could do that, but I love fresh cilantro. Told you guys I was gonna add more buffalo sauce. We might as well do it now. Doesn't that look so good so far? So I'm gonna go ahead and mix all of this together, get everything nice and mixed up, and then we're gonna add that cream cheese last. Well, technically the blue cheese is last. You don't wanna cook the blue cheese inside of the chili. You're going to use that as a topping. We're gonna add in the cream cheese and let that cook in the chili. But first, before I do that, I wanna add all of my seasonings. So you guys know, if you know me, you've been here for a while, you know I love seasoning. So even if the recipe doesn't call for a specific seasoning, I'm gonna add it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this Goya seasoning because I just love it. And we'll just add a touch of it. And typically most of my seasoning occurs when things really start to cook, and then I start to taste, and I'm like, okay, it needs a little bit more of this. It needs a dash of that. I'm also gonna add this adobo. I think everybody should have adobo in their spice drawer because it's just an all-purpose seasoning. So I'm gonna add that. And then I always add garlic powder and garlic salt and onion powder. And I didn't, again, I opted to not add the celery salt this go around, and I don't think I'll miss it. And if I find that next time I should add it, then I will. I think that is because when you're eating buffalo wings, you like to have celery and blue cheese. So that, I guess, maybe the thought behind why you should add that. So this is onion powder. I love onion powder. And I also, you guys, try a lot of different recipes. So I like to try new things. By the way, my favorite garlic salt, that's why it's almost empty. And so we're gonna add some of that. And I like to add just a little bit until I really taste it because I don't wanna over salt it. And I feel like the buffalo wing has salt in it, and some of the other things already has salt in it, so I don't wanna have too much salt. So that's looking real good, right? Look at that. Oh my goodness, so good. Okay, so then we need to add the ranch seasoning. So I also have a packet here. So I'm gonna add the packet, and I'm gonna see where that takes me. And if I feel like I need more, then I always keep this on hand as well. And don't forget about your chicken broth. I hope I mentioned this when I was talking about the ingredients. You definitely need chicken broth. So I'm going to be adding 2 cups of this. And this has 32 ounces in it, so I may just use the whole thing because I don't like to restore things like this because I just feel like I never use it afterwards. And I eyeball a lot too, so y'all don't be like me. Get your measuring cup out and measure. Okay. All right, and this is gonna start to cook down as well. And that's what you want because it looks real watery right now, but it's gonna cook down. All the juices are gonna start to kind of bind together. Everything's gonna bind together and it's gonna thicken and it's gonna look real good and it's gonna taste even better. So I think I am gonna go ahead and add one more can of the navy beans. So you see it's already starting to thicken up a little bit. So it's gonna thicken up even more and it's gonna be so good, y'all. All right, so we've added everything. We've made sure everything was stirred up and mixed up nice and good. So now we're gonna add the cream cheese and just kind of let it sit. It's going to melt as the chili heats up, and we'll just keep stirring it so that way it gets mixed in there nice and well. Okay, so I'm still working on getting the cream cheese melted, y'all, but it is mostly melted, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a taste test. I am definitely a mid-cooking taste tester. I love to just make sure everything's going according to plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and take me a taste test. What that also allows you to do is see if any adjustments are needed and make those before you finish cooking everything. And so I like to just take a little dip just to see, and if I need to add more seasoning, I'll do that. Whatever is needed, I'll be able to know now. Y'all, look at that. And I don't know if you're like me, but I am totally a person who loves hot food. So I will eat this right now, literally, while it's like super hot. I know, it's crazy. My family thinks I'm crazy. But for me, the hotter the better. So good. Now, it probably would be even better if you slow cooked it, but it tastes so good, y'all. If you love buffalo wings, it's so good. And I didn't even top it with the blue cheese, which is gonna set it off even more. And I'm also gonna add a little bit more cilantro on the top. Y'all, so good. All right, y'all, it is pretty much done. I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit because I'm gonna just let it simmer with the lid on, but it's done, y'all. Everything is mixed in there really well. It's starting to thicken up really nicely. It is looking good and it's tasting real good also, y'all. You're gonna love this, especially during this time of year. Fall and winter, a good bowl of chili, it's just something about it, right? So that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this time in the kitchen with me. I really enjoyed cooking for you guys today. We are going to be doing a lot more of this, so stay tuned. Again, I hope you try this chili. If you do try it, make sure to tag me so that I can know what your thoughts are. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel here. I hope you'll give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and you will come back and catch another Cooking with Quita, in which case I'll see you then. So good.